Alright folks, and welcome back. So third video in a week, and I'm making this a bit of a Christmas special. I've got my season's greeting from Isla Nublar Jurassic Park. Got my rosé champagne, because that's just how we do it out here. And I've got shenanigans. This is mainly a CEX Roulette, because I've got potentially a good one. I've got a bit of a rogue CEX buy here. I've also got, and this is a clickbaity spoiler thing that might turn out to backfire on me, something that I believe to be one of the most hated video game accessories ever. And it's, I do have pickups as well. I wasn't going to do this just as pickups because I've just done two, but I got a bit of a good PS1 haul yesterday, which I've already shown some of you guys, but it's proper retro stuff this time. I think the most newest thing is PS2, but it's mostly older than that. I've done a lot, most of my last few videos I know has been buying, I've just been buying statues of relatively like PS4 games. I've got all my Far Cry stuff and the Assassin's Creed. I did find somewhere for the shoes to go. Don't know if you can see that on there, I don't think you can, but the shoes went up there. I've had a bit of a restructure about things. But my pickups recently have just been mostly big box versions of games I've already played. This is proper, this is good stuff. I'm actually going to start off with the pickups. The first one actually, there's going to be a lot of light gun related stuff in this. Because I play a lot of light gun games out here, partly because I can play them standing up, and that's good because A, it's cold, and B, the stall that I've got, it's an arcade one at Mortal Kombat stall, and it rocks. And I hate it. So playing stud games stood up. And also, I think I said before, my PS5, my proper gaming is done in the house. This is the garage. I don't spend like hours and hours and hours on my gaming out here. It's usually I come out here and play for 20 minutes while something's happening inside. And the light gun games are good for that because they're arcadey, you know. That's why I've got all the fight stick stuff that I'm collecting as well. You know, I do the more arcadey stuff. Oh, actually, that's where the Capcom and the Neo Geo now live. If you watch my last two videos, I was worrying about what to do with them. They are there. So my first pickup is the new CRT, because I've got the Niti, the OG Niti, that's quite a funky one, and I've got the Space Hat telly, which hasn't worked in a couple of years, and I'm going to get it to Mr. and Mrs. Retro Bear to fix it at some point, but I've been saying that for probably 18 months now. It just doesn't happen. It'll find its way back in there, but I wanted something a bit bigger for light gun games, and something that could sit at like a proper height, because the big, like the 28-inch old CRT ones, they sit low on things, and I could have had a shuffle around down that end and put one in, but you don't want to be shooting down or sitting down to play it. So this is actually kind of a proper height for some arcade shooting. So that, but I've been looking out for a TV this size for a little while. I want one nearby, and this came up with it was just an absolute pile of PlayStation 1 stuff. So I got the TV. I got this lot for 200 quid. So I got the TV. It's a Toshiba, I don't know what it is. It's a flat screen one, but it's not a HD one, so it's perfect for the shootery. So for 200 quid, I got the telly. I got a box PlayStation 1, which I do already have up there. But this box is in much nicer condition. I mean, it is pretty much immaculate. It's much nicer than the one that I've got up there. So, I mean, I've got PlayStation 1s coming out my wazoo at the minute, so the console will get sold, but I'm going to do a switcheroo on the boxes and keep this box because it's nice. So I've got PlayStation 1, which needs to go somewhere. And this, well actually, I'll tell one of the games next. So, stack of PS1 games. There are some good ones in here. There's some fodder. In no particular order, I got Destruction Derby 2, which I can't remember if I had this one. It seems familiar. Destruction Derby 2. Right. Micro Machines V3. Now this was a good one. And bizarre memory of this. Liam Retro Realm obviously might remember this, but I won't say the person's name, but I lent this to somebody at school. Someone had come round and borrowed this game. And he'd set off and took the game with him, obviously. And then later that day, I went out, walked around the corner, and found it in my neighbour's bush. But like, the manual was out and the disc was out and I don't know, I just wasn't quite sure. But he had swapped it for me. I think he might give me a Tomb Raider game or something for it. But just like you have this for a week, I'll have that for a week. And he took it apart and threw it in a hedge and left me with this Tomb Raider game. I never understood what or why. I never went out and rebought it. But now I do have it again. And I remember quite liking this one. So that's an unusual Micro Machines anecdote. But it's there. Ready to Rumble Boxing. Probably better known on the Dreamcast. I did have it on the Dreamcast. Now Liam has it on the Dreamcast because I sold it him. But Ready to Rumble Boxing. That one will stay. Platinum version of Grand Theft Auto. Which I think I already have this. I must already have this. If I don't already have this, I do now. I might have just a disc of it actually, but that's good. Pro Evo 2. I mean, I was never a Pro Evo guy. That one might not stick around, but Pro Evo 2. Oh dear. International Track and Field. I never really played these sort of athleticsy games. I can't imagine that they're that good. It seems to be just button mashing to make them run quicker. Oh, my pile's falling over. Right, Everybody's Golf 2, which I think was a good one. Was it? I feel like it was quite was Everybody's Golf like a bit of a silly one? I don't know. I'll probably give it a go and get rid of it. Tocker 2 touring cars, complete with a sticker from, doesn't say, $32.99 once. Don't know. It says take box to checkout when ready. Did anyone recognise that price sticker? It's a bit of heritage there. I do think I have this actually. It was Tocker 1 was the one that I always used to play. Get in the Audi and go around Donington Park all the time. Right, B-Rally. Again, I think I have this. I must have. Oh well, if I don't, I do now. B-Rally. Sensible Soccer. Which, to be honest, I didn't know they did on the PlayStation 1. I remember having it. Well, actually, last time I had Sensible Soccer was on the Evercade. Oh, I don't know if I've said this. I have purged my Evercade collection. I know Tutti and others, and I get a lot of stick for having it, and the people call it Nevercade and say shit. I did get out of it in the end. It got a bit silly. It was alright at the start, wasn't it? But then they start bringing out a new thing every 2 weeks, and they're like expensive now, and just, I don't know. I got bored of it. It was all good at the time, but I had Sensible Soccer on it, and now I have it again. And just looking at the back, this doesn't look like it's a complete remake of the original one because it's got proper graphics on it, or as proper as the PlayStation gets. It feels heavy as well, actually. Fuck me, look at the size of the manual for it. Oh, it's just in a million different languages. I was going to say that's like the complicated game in the world. It's like the Warhammer instructions. And the last one is Soviet Strike. Are we striking as Soviets or are we striking at Soviets? I don't know. I don't ever had this one. Soviet Strike. And so that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. Plus, and this sort of brings me on to what I'm trying to do with this thing. A boxed Time Crisis with the G-Con 45, which I do already have several of, but not as a big box version of it. And this is, if I can just open it carefully, immaculate, like absolutely immaculate. It doesn't even look like the gun doesn't even look like it's been taken out of the box, and it may stay that way. So this is my third G-Con 1, and we're about to see that collection increase. But Time Crisis, which I think is pretty good. So all that lot for 200 quid with the telly and the console and that and the 10 games. Well, that's pretty good. Right, I'll put that down there. But that brings me on to what I'm actually trying to do here. So, let's say, playing a lot of light gun games at the minute. And I put together a list. Largely, there's a couple of game fairs coming up. Bolton, March and Doncaster, February. I'm doing a shopping list because I never come to these things with a plan. And there was some light guns I realised that I didn't have, because I've already got the boxed version of the SAT and the Virtua gun, which, I don't know if you can see it, is there being handled by Banjo and Kazooie. And I had all the GunCon ones, and I've got the Menacer somewhere there, which is properly boxed. I've got the Master System one, and I've got like a Gen 1 Binatone TV game shooty thing. So I've got like quite a lot of virtual guns from across the generations, but there was a couple when I was researching that I didn't have. And I looked on eBay, and the boxed versions, like that Time Crisis one, like that Virtua Cop one, when you buy the game and the gun on eBay, they seem to be quite expensive, but CEX seem to flog them a lot less. So what I've bought is one of these, I think it's this one, is the GunCon 2 with Time Crisis 3. And then the next one for the Mega Drive is the Konami Justifier gun with Lethal Enforcers. But I think that's in the big box. I think it's this one. But it make a good CEX Roulette, because I don't know what they've sent me. On the app, on the website, on CEX, you put in Lethal Enforcers, and it obviously shows you all the ones. This was 60 quid. On eBay, I see it regularly go for around 100. Sometimes 60 quid for just the game. Or Lethal Enforcers 2, just the game. I think it depends on whether it's Mega Drive or CD. One or the other is more expensive. But the title was boxed with the gun and the game for the Mega Drive, but the picture was of just the game for the Sega CD. And I'm guessing that they've sent me what it said, not the disc, because they're not just going to send me a Sega CD game in a box this big. But I'm also slightly confused because they have sent me a GunCon 3 in a box this big. So how big this Justifier is, I don't know. But, oh, that's a good, I hate doing this. Right, let me just pose for the photo on the front. There we go. Can't be bothered to do a proper one, it's too much like hard work. Right, I'm going to tuck into the little one first. Right, where's my skizzers? Just have a drink. Oh, do like me some rosé champagne. Right, then buggered it. So this should be placed. Oh, you bastards! Right, this is a bad start. This might be a bad start, and this might explain why the box was so small. It isn't boxed. I might have to see what I've ordered here. Time Crisis with GunCon and cable. Is it implied it's boxed? Is that on me? I don't know. Maybe it's on me. It doesn't say boxed. I just assumed that when you get the game and the gun together, it is. I'm out of box space. It doesn't really matter. I'm out of box space. I just don't want to know that I've been fucking rinsed. Right. So here we go. Time Crisis 3. With the manual at least. And then this should be a GunCon 2. And here we go. Oh, it is a smaller one. I don't think I ever had one of these. I remember having the big grey one that's in that box. This is quite a bit smaller, and it's obviously got controllers on it, and there was some games I've picked up, I think it needs this one, presumably because you need to be able to look around on it. It's got a couple more buttons on it and one on the bottom. The gun looks pretty good. The game looks pretty good. I was expecting it to be boxed. That might be on me. It doesn't say boxed. I just felt when it says gun and game, when it's a gun and a game together, it's in a box. Is that on me? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'm not too upset because I've just done 2 pickups videos where I've been going, my stuff's too big, I've got nowhere to put it. So I can't sulk, I don't have another box to store. But it goes on the collection, clickety clickety click, that's that. It's the next one I'm excited about. 42 quid that was, by the way. I think I was comparing it to boxed ones on eBay though. That's why it's CEX Roulette. You don't know what you're going to get. Bastards. Right, I need to put this somewhere because the big box is coming out. I don't mean Liam's mum. Ah. Right. This is the big chap, which presumably is boxed because the box is big. But is it the Sega CD one that they've sent me? Is it the Mega Drive one? I hope the Mega Drive, because I don't actually have a Sega CD. And I might get one, but they're expensive. And the games look terrible. There's a lot of light gun games for it, but they do look absolute shit. Although, like Mad Dog McCree seems alright, but is it 200 quid's worth of hardware alright to play a game sort of ironically? I don't think so. Right, we're in. Ooh. It's a lot of packaging. This is definitely boxed. I got a box shape thing. There's another one, so I passed the fucking parcel. Oh well, I can't criticise them for not packaging it well. This isn't the most fascinating thing for you guys to watch, but it's just wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped. It's like when you took one of them suitcases to a thing at an airport. Huzzah! Right, what have we got here? It appears to be the right thing. The box has seen better days. Liam's mum has. Lethal Enforcers, there we go. Let's get that way around. So, I mean, the artwork on this is pretty badass. The top corner of the box is a bit shagged. I can probably forgive it that. It's cool though. It's cool artwork. It's going to suit the colour scheme and the aesthetic out here. I don't know where, it's probably got there somewhere. So on the outside it looks alright. Big sticker aside. Can I tell where it was sold from? No. Let's have a rummage inside. Oh, it's blue! Right. I got the game. There's no manual with this, but I think I knew that. Lethal Enforcers with gun, without manual, boxed. To be fair, this one says boxed, so I reckon that Time Crisis was on me. It says without manual, right? It was 60 quid. All the ones with manuals on eBay were like 100 to 120, and they seem to be selling for that. And I thought, as nice as it is, I'm not that serious a collector that I'm spending 50 quid on a manual I'm not going to look at. So it is the game and a big blue gun, which I haven't had one of these before. The Justifier, look at that. Mega Drive seems a bit of a funny one to collect for, because I've got the Menacer, which is a absolute pain in the arse. It does work. I know most of the things out here are temperamental. It does work, but only sometimes. And I feel like I have to put... The only game worth playing on it that I ever have is Terminator. But I think to get it to work, I have to put in the Menacer 6 game cartridge. and then shoot it up a little bit and it calibrates, and then I take that out and put Terminator in or something. I can't remember, but it's something convoluted like that. I don't know if that's supposed to happen or if it's just because I've got something a bit monkey. But hopefully this one seems a bit simpler. And this one seems like a good game. I think the other main game for this, is it this one or is it the Menacer? It's body count, but it's a big ticket one. That one is big, it's expensive and naughty. So I have a bit of a collection now of boxed gun and game collections. So I've got this one, I've got the Japanese Virtue Cop, I've got Time Crisis 1, I thought I had Time Crisis 2, I don't, but it's probably not the worst thing. I'm not desperately after the boxed ones, really, because of space, but they are quite cool to have. I think that is most of them. I have bought, I wasn't going to, because I want to try focusing on the ones I already had for game collecting, but I'd been, you know, like sometimes when you're not necessarily watching something on eBay, but when you've looked at it before, someone sends you an offer. I'd been looking at a Nintendo Super Scope, and someone sent an offer out on eBay, and it was like 20 quid delivered. And I thought, 20 quid, might as well. I don't have it yet though, but it'll have it. But I think that's all the guns I've got now, apart from all the like the third party ones for the PS1, PS2. I want the Scorpion. I think that was one of the ones I had as a kid. It looked like a proper gun. All these others, I mean, they're supposed to, so you can't pretend they're real guns and take the piss. But the Scorpion, there's a couple of different versions of it, and it looked dead nice. I can't remember if it was actually good to play games with. But just some other pickups on these light gun games, just as a bit of an extra thing to add. I don't know if I showed some of these in my last pickups video. Maybe not, I don't know. Got Ninja Assault for the PlayStation 2, which I played quite a bit. That one's quite frantic. I don't quite understand it. Maybe it would help if I actually watched the intro scenes. I don't understand why people with bows and arrows and ninjas and katanas are fighting people with guns. But I just clicked through the video at the start, so maybe that's on me. But I couldn't quite understand what you were trying to do, and why the people with bows and arrows didn't have guns, and why the bows and arrows are more effective than the guns. Because I seem to take 2 hits and I'm dead, but I have to put a whole clip into some of them for them to do anything. Why can they shoot me through wooden barriers, but I can't shoot them, and I've got a gun and they've got I don't know. I can't quite understand it, but it's from a mindless shooting thing. It's quite good. Dino Stalker, which I haven't played yet because I think this one is better with the GunCon 2. I think with just the one you have to have a controller in each hand so you can walk around from memory. So I haven't played that one yet, but Dino Stalker, which I think, is this a spin-off from Resident Evil? I think it is. There's some Resident Evil shoot-em-ups. Survivor, which I gather is, in fact, I know it's shit because I watched an Angry Video Game nerd video on it quite recently. But that one seemed alright. I bought this one today. Endgame, it was £1 in CEX. Endgame. It says it's one of the best looking shooters around. Oh, it just, so the quote is one of the best looking shooters around. And I'm not sure if that is a compliment or not. Are they saying that she's the shooter and she's the best looking one around? Are they saying it looks good, but it's not? Are they saying the graphics are good, but the game isn't? Or are they actually saying it's good? It was PlayStation Official Magazine that said it. It's just an ambiguous quote. I don't know, but for £1 it can look good and take up shelf space I don't have. I also got the PlayStation 1, I think I did show this in my last pickup video, Point Blank, and I will be going after 2 and 3 at the game fairs and Judge Dredd. And then the other 2 that I've got, which might not have, I don't think I had these at the time when I bought the other one, House of the Dead for the Japanese Saturn, which has been played pretty much constantly and I can't get past. And it's an absolute banger, this one is, but it's hard. Maybe it's a skill issue with me, but I can't get past the first about 2 minutes. I get in the house, I go up a ladder and then fucked. And then this, just because I like the name of it, this is another Japanese shooter. And then this has arrived a couple of days ago and I've not played it yet. But this is Mechanical Violator Hokkaido Last Judgment, which on the back looks a little bit almost Terminator-y, I'm not sure. But he looks serious. Well, you can't really see that because my phone's reflecting. But Mechanical Violator Hokkaido. I think this is based on an anime series. I think a lot of these ones are. Hopefully there's not a lot of cutscening that I have to do because I do not speak Japanese, despite my Duolingo. So that's all my light gunnery. I had an idea because this video is, well, this channel has been mostly just me sitting here talking crap about Assassin's Creed, and I thought I've not actually done any gaming really. And I thought I could do some light gun games. Maybe Mechanical Hokkaido is like an unusual enough one that someone might want to watch it. But I was trying to work out how to film it, and I had this mad idea, and I thought I could put like a shit GoPro on a gun con, tape it up with electrical tape so it stays still, and then film it. And that just a shit idea, absolute shit idea. And here it is. Look at the CamCon. Look at it. It's so beautiful, but I'm not gonna lie, this is flawed. I've tried it. For one, I can't, with this camera at least, this is one of these like fake GoPros off of Amazon. It's a cross tour. I used to have it on my touring motorbike back in the day. I can't use the settings on it to match the refresh rate of the telly, so you just get the flashing all the time. The other problem with this is, when you're playing the game, to load, or usually to reload, you shoot off the screen. So for anyone watching it, you're going to get seasick. And thirdly, and probably most importantly, when I'm filming and using it, I can't actually fucking see the game. When I was strapping this on, I felt like I was in Far Cry 6. I'm at the tool bench building a Resolve air weapon with weapon bits I've found, and I thought, yeah, this is cool. This is like having an ACOG scope on it, but actually what it means is I can't fucking see. So this is terrible. So I might not use this. I probably won't. But I might do something. I'd like to do a bit of a video of actually some gaming rather than just me waving crap at you that I've bought. I'm not proud of this. But it happened. We'll see. And then my final little treat. I've got all these guns for shooting things, and I thought there's not a lot of jeopardy when the things shoot you back. Right, it comes up on the screen, it flashes, and then that's about it. I press continue and you carry on with the game. And I've seen this, what I've got here, and I never had it before. I'd never even seen it before. I think it was around when I was a kid, but I never even seen it before. But I was reading an article about the worst video game peripherals ever. The Nintendo Power Glove was on it. That stupid Mega Drive thing that you stood in the middle of and waved your hands around was on it. But this, it's fucking heavy. I thought if I pair this with the gun game, it could be quite good, or it could be quite disastrous. But this is the Aura Interactor. Look at it. Boxed. And it weighs an absolute fucking ton, which is probably why, if you have to wear it as a rucksack, probably why, one of the many reasons why people hated it. Now, I bought this for 10 quid. It was listed as untested, for parts or not working, listed as untested, but I thought for a tenner, fuck it. It seemed legit, right? Sometimes when people are selling stuff as untested, you look at their other listings and realise that they sell a lot of video games, and you think, you could have tested that, it definitely doesn't work. This seemed legit, it looked like an attic find. It is, for saying how bad it might turn out to be, from a value for money for a tenner, it is immaculate. I'm not even certain it's been used. The actual thing, I don't know if I want to get this whole thing out now. I sort of do, and I sort of don't ever want to use it. The actual thing is like properly packaged. The rucksack pieces in its bag. It appears to have everything with it. Some of it is like, I don't know. It's got like little extras almost. Oh, well, maybe it has been used because it's got like an aftermarket PlayStation adapter with it. So this was obviously, I think when this came out, the intention was that it was for the SNES and the Mega Drive. So the plan is to play Lethal Enforcers with it. And it, I don't know, I think it just picks up low frequency sounds and vibrates. I don't think there's a huge amount of technology in it. I'm guessing because I have an X-Rocker chair. I don't use it very often, but when I plug that in, there are complicated ways of plugging it in, but if I just use like a headphone, like a 3.5mm jack, and stick it inside of the telly, the whole thing rumbles. And it seems to know just from the sound. Like I play Star Wars Pod Racer on the N64 on it, and that's quite good because when you like bang off the sides, the whole chair does go. So I'm guessing it's the same technology but in rucksack form. If I can get this to work and I can get the nonsense Guncam, Camcon, the Namco Cancon cum gun, the cum gun definitely isn't that. If I can get this working, I can get this working, I can get that working, it might be a video I do. It might not, but it might be. And I think it's best we leave it there. So I probably won't do another one of these for a few weeks. So happy Christmas everybody, have a good break. I will see most of you, well a lot of you, in either Bolton or Doncaster by the sounds of it. So have a good Christmas, and I don't know what that and was. Just have a good Christmas. Oh, and a Happy New Year, that's the one. Yeah. So we'll run out of steam at the end of this one now. But peace out.